So I'm sitting here making lunch thinking, why is it so hard to be authentic? Like, why is it so hard to just, I don't know, be who you are, to be who I am? And I think a good friend of mine pointed out recently that he thinks that if some people, because he's known me for a while, if some people were to like a certain thing, I'd be more likely to try to impress them. And then if I'm in another group of people, if they like a certain thing, I'm more likely to shift over, even if it's the opposite thing of that thing, if that makes sense. Like, for example, two areas that I give like advice in or speak in are dating and social anxiety and confidence. In one group, in the dating group, if I'm talking to other guys who get a lot of dates, who get laid a lot, who go out and practice game and pickup, I'm more likely to talk about like how many dates I've been on and stuff like that, and make it sound like really let them know how many dates I've been on. And then in another group, like the social anxiety group, I'm more likely to not share how many lays that I have or how many dates I've been on, how many relationships I've had, so I can more relate to them, because they don't necessarily care about that. They care more about like feeling just okay around people. And this is like, I mean, we could label this with anything, right? The qualities of being a people pleaser, whatever. But I think the place that I'm trying to get to right now is to where it doesn't matter what group I'm in or how that group's going to react when I say, whatever, I don't have as many lays as this guy, or that group is going to react when I say, oh, I've been on a lot of dates, actually. Like, the place where I'm trying to get to is like just reality, like reality of the situation. Like, yeah, this group might react a certain way if I say this, that group might react a certain way if I say that. But it's like, what's actual reality? And like, what do I actually care about? What have I done in my life? And it's like, facts are facts. And more I'm trying to get to a place where I'm just focusing on facts, and I'm not trying to like focus on things that I think will impress people. And I think that social media, like the reason that I can upload stuff on YouTube versus Facebook, and I don't give a shit, like I can just speak. I feel like I can speak freely right now because I'm going to upload this to YouTube, because my YouTube is like, I have like maybe like 200 subscribers at this point. But YouTube, when I started it, I was like, you know what? I don't give a shit. I'm just going to be me. I'm going to talk about how to be confident. I'm going to talk about social anxiety, whatever. Boom. And then those people are just going to show up, because the nature of YouTube is that like people search for things. They'll search for how to overcome social anxiety. If I make a video about it, those people are going to align with that video. And then things like Facebook just has feeds where they like throw things in people's faces. And if I start talking about like social anxiety, for example, and then something slips out to where I'm like, oh, I haven't been laid this many times. I've been laid this many times. And then somebody's like, how could you call yourself a dating coach? You associate with like dating people. You haven't been laid this amount of times, or you haven't had this experience. You haven't had that experience. You don't know what you're talking about, blah. And that's what I'm afraid of. But it's like, at the end of the day, why do I give a shit about that stuff? It's like, it's so emotionally fueled and reaction fueled, like social media. There's so many people, so many different opinions. By the way, these people who, sorry, I'm going to rant for a second. These people who just like get in their emotions and say whatever the fuck they want to somebody, disrespect somebody, hate on somebody on social media. The thing that we're all so afraid of, right? If we're a little bit insecure, like maybe I'm a little bit insecure and that's why I'm afraid of that. But like these people, I always remind myself, like haters on social media, if you click on their profile, a lot of times they don't even show their face. They don't have a lot of pictures of themselves, and they would never say that shit to my face in real life. Social media has given people a way to disrespect other people and say whatever they want without any consequences, because they're behind a screen and they don't have to deal with the consequences in real life. I remember being in school, right? Like I grew up I'm 28 years old, and this is the beginning of 2023. I grew up in an era where like computers were getting more popular, but like I didn't have a smartphone until I was 18. So I had like flip phones and slide phones and stuff when I was in high school. And late middle school and stuff. But like I grew up in the real world for the most part. Aside from like Call of Duty in high school, I would get online and like play people. But like for the most part, I grew up in the real world. And if you disrespected somebody in person and he was like a bigger kid than you get punched in the face. And I think I try to be, I try to speak my opinion, but also be really respectful to people. Cause like, I want to live in the real world. And what if you disrespect somebody online and you have to face them in real life? So anyways, my whole point with this is there's not really much to be afraid of with like putting yourself out there online, putting yourself out there for the world to see. Cause a lot of people wouldn't fuck with you in real life if you face them. And I guess like being confident and being strong, like maybe that has something to do with it. Like if you're actually strong and you do push-ups and you work out and you carry yourself in a way that says, I'm confident, I'm physically capable of stuff, or you just don't care and you're like, you know what? Yeah, like whatever, I'll fight. Like that kind of attitude where you're just not scared. You're walking around in the real world. You interact with the real world. I think that you carry more of a confidence with you, and you can be more authentic when you recognize that. Is this making sense? I think that social media has I think that's how it's affecting us and kind of influencing us to be a little bit less authentic. But at the end of the day, you have to remember that if you're respectful, you can speak your truth no matter what. And yeah, any emotional reaction that's caused in you from other people's judgments or that other people are having about you, it doesn't matter. None of it matters. All that matters is the facts, reality.